Okay, so we are here for Rebirth of Goddess Culture on Earth, and I am very excited. And it is Thursday, May 20th. And we are coming together in sacred circle in a way. This is like an intro talk, and there'll be some experience in it as well of a guided meditation uh, to be together and kind of solidify that energy. As what we're talking about, rebirthing the goddess culture, we need some sense of birthing that, right? And I'm sure all the people listening have a sense of birthing that, or else you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here if you didn't feel like, oh man, Big Mama needs birthing. We need to birth ourselves as mothers. We need to birth the goddess as the mother on earth, right? Because that mothering is missing in a sense that from our world culture, and it's being not honored in the divinity and in the sacred holy way that it needs to be honored. Um, in life, in our culture, really. And our culture is like our collective consciousness that we're manifesting, right? And we're manifesting patterns that we are currently needing to transition out of, and we're seeing that transition. We're seeing that awakening arise, and it's also quite turbulent because awakenings are quite turbulent often, right? They don't have to be, but humans, we are a little difficult. We take a little bit extra time to figure out things, maybe a little bit extra turbulence sometimes. And the birthing process itself, right? Everyone who's on this call who has been a physical mother in this lifetime knows that birth is intense. And so birthing this culture is intense, and it takes all of us, all women, to birth that, right? To birth that divinity through us. And what I mean by that is that there is a what I feel as the origin of all, that kind of pregnant potential, that place of silence, that place of where there's no form yet, there's just this large, expansive that's throughout all of us and throughout all of creation, throughout the moments where there is no moment, in a sense, where everything disappears and then reappears. That might be a hard experience to relate to if you haven't had it, maybe in meditation or whatever, but you might relate it as um, those pauses in breathing, or that space where you just sit and nothing is occurring and then things arise, right? And so tapping into that creative potential, and tapping into that means we pause and we can realign with the universe, and we can realign with the universal laws, we could say, that are rippling out through all of creation. And humanity is maybe not in alignment with that as it could be, right? And we're, because we're in so go 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 mode, and we don't sit back and say, in that pause, to realign, that changes the course. Probably most people have had this experience on this call. If you haven't, but um, when you come to a reset, right, it really does reset you. And then you're like, oh, I had an urge to change something, or something wasn't quite in alignment. And now I'm feeling into potentially changing tracks to another track, right? And we're talking about this in the context of divine mother and what that means and how that means in women's bodies. And for me, women have a specific role in that, because in a very embodied way, because we are the lineage holders, I would say, for the physical manifestation of humanity on the planet. Literally, we birth the babies that then become generations of humans. And even in that, because we have that capacity, it doesn't have to be used in that capacity. It can also be used in the capacity of um, how we bring creational energy and life force, because we need that creational energy and life force to create new humans. That energy and life force can also be used to create new patterns on Earth, new culture on Earth, new projects on Earth, right? And aligning that creative source with the essential creative source of all, puts us in a sense in as channels, for that rippling out into culture. Hmm. I'm just taking a pause to feel that and feel what comes next. And for me, I feel like it's very much my purpose to be birthing that. And um, I know it's in purpose for a lot of women are feeling that call, but probably everybody who felt the need to be on this call or hear this today, that you're feeling that call as well. And it might be for more practical reasons in your life, like, oh, this pattern with my mother, or this pattern with my sisters, or this pattern in sisterhood is not serving, is not serving my life. It's not serving who I am, or this way in which I relate to my body as a woman is not healthy, or it's not really my fullest yearning or my fullest potential or my healthiest place. And maybe I just want to get to a place of um, feeling some peace around that. Those are all great motivations for being on that path. And for drawing you into your creative capacity to come to a reset, to come to a place where you can pause, you can align with all the support of the universe, because that divine mother, in a sense, emanates out into this field of support. And when we tap into that field of support, it's very unlimited what we can create and what we can manifest together. And it brings that support in a tangible way into your life, right? So opening up to that support. And so all of these elements combined is what I have brought together for Grace and Grounding, a training in sacred sisterhood, which is going to happen next week. It's going to start on the full moon, which is actually also a lunar eclipse. I didn't know that at the moment that I set that in motion, but that's how it happens. Um, and so those elements of tapping into divine mother, the origin of creation, harnessing those moon cycles, because women are cyclical. That's another way that we, for me, can change culture, is tapping into our cyclical nature, right? And tapping into our ability to be in alignment with those cycles that arise. The menstrual cycle for many women is a potent way to tap into that, and often aligns with the moon cycles, right? And the moons themselves are powerful places, the new moon being more about that pregnant potential, and tapping into that, and tapping into our wombs, which we're going to do each new moon. It's going to be a component of that. So we really establish that inside of ourselves, that place. Um, and prayer will be a part of that, a component of that, as well as when we tapping into that pause, to build energy and build that knowledge, that embodied knowledge and wisdom, that whatever is in this womb, this energy of the womb, of the universal womb, adds that much more and aligns us that much more with our prayers for our own life, but also for generations of women that come after us and the generations of women that came before us. And there are beautiful studies about how prayer, and probably many of you know this in a very real way, about how prayer impacts our lives, right? And how it can heal, how it really does have an impact. And there are even studies about the past, praying in the now, that have changed the past, which to me is mind blowing, but has actually been recorded. So it's so cool. So, so cool. And we're going to use that, right? Because we are wanting to birth something new. We need the support, right, of the divine. We need the support of that, you could say divine, that creational energy, that universal source. We need that support. We want to bring it into alignment. And that adds the fuel, like injector fuel for our prayers, basically, into the world, and for our own lives as well. And the fact that we're doing it together as a resonant field, as a field all together, adds even more juice to that. So we're coming together to be very juicy and to add all that field together to, you know, to manifest this new culture of sacred life on earth, that everything is sacred, that everything is holy, not to, that the oneness and diversity is holy, and to support that transition of consciousness from one of consumerism and production and all this back to this embodied wholeness of care and intentionality and um, living in alignment with the earth and the universe and solar system, moon, right? We're using it in this way to be in that cyclical alignment. Hmm. Love that injector fuel. Yeah, it feels so good. And so the full moon we're coming up on, right? And that full moon time is more that birthing time, that time when those prayers that we've made is coming through that channel, and it can be very intense, very visceral, very, but that full moon time just adds to that meditation, and we will tap into what does it feel like to be that birther as well, right? What does it feel like to birth? And what does it feel like to be birthing this culture on earth for our own bodies as well as collectively? Uh, hmm. And there will be, it'll be a small group of people in this class that I'm talking about the format for. And so there'll be intimacy and trust that will build, and in that way healing some of those wounds around being in relationship with women, right? And holding that container, being in relationship with of women, because many of us are healing that healing piece of the generational trauma or generational wounds. That's part of what we need to move um, in order to be that clear place, and to live from, to find peace, really, to find peace and love inside of ourselves. And we can't, that's birthing ourselves into that newer place. And we really can't birth a new culture collectively unless we're rebirthing ourselves, rebirthing those beliefs that have gotten in the way, or wounds that need tending, and need love, and uh, need to also know, usually when they're arising in a circle like this or in a place, they're usually arising because they're ready to move, they're ready for some solace, they're ready for some healing, because your body has a natural way of doing that. um, and there can be often re-triggering, right, with other women and things like that, and we are going to do our utmost to build a very safe, grounded container so that we are not playing in that field of traumatization or triggering, or um, and with that, I have certain grounding techniques for us to be in really in harmony with earth energy, and feeling that solid container of our own sovereignty, our own self-responsibility. And that's going to be kind of the second component of meditations to this class, are the moon cycles, tapping into that, then these energy practices to ground, and we will also ground our own feminine energy. They will be specifically geared around women's energy systems, our ovaries, our womb, our own emotional bodies, so that we can really feel that containment together, and then provide safe places and neutral spaces for sharing to arise. So first we'll build this container over time, over some months, and then we will get more into depth of sharing together once we have built safety and containment. I'm going to pause this just for what's feeling to my heart. There's something else to say. I guess it's all about you, really. It's all about your own devotion, what you bring to it, um, your own heart space that you bring to it. And even if this is, the only talk that you come to, just taking that forward into that your own heart space of um, utilizing Divine Mother, utilizing and knowing that that rebirth of goddess culture is arising. I mean, it's arising all around us, and I have, I'll just say, direct experience of rebirthing traditions and traditions that are in alignment with that culture in my own personal life and in my own spiritual life. And I know that they're arising and the song is being sung, and it just takes us really listening, sitting back and listening to hear that song and to hear where we're called and to hear our heart and how it resonates. Um, and if your heart resonates with this and this offering, definitely reach out to me if you want to talk about it further, um, or just go to the page and sign up. Mm. Yeah, so I'm going to pause this recording just to see if there's any questions. Okay, so we are coming back to an experience that we're going to have together, listening for this heart voice. But as one participant just informed us, Venus is in a beautiful alignment today, that it is in a similar alignment as it was last June 3rd, and it's about bringing spirit into matter, which is what this meditation, this experience is going to be about, actually. And this heart voice as well, we're going to tune into that too, because that just arose. So just make yourself comfortable. Come to some comfortable place of sitting, and really adjust yourself. When I say come to a comfortable place, I really mean that. I really want you to feel comfortable. And it is often good to have your spine aligned and, to sit up straight and to have your feet on the ground, specifically for this meditation. Um, but I want you to do that in the most comfortable way for you. And there is no rules as well. If you have physical limitations to that or pain, it can all be done also laying down. And just noticing your body, first noticing the support that you have. So what you're sitting on, the floor you might be laying on, whatever is supporting you, really feel like sink into that support. Just notice, like, wow, I'm being supported right now, physically supported by the earth, by the ground. And notice your breath. And envision that support that the earth, or your chair that's sitting on the earth, noticing that earth that's supporting chair, that's supporting the ground, that's supporting the house, all of it. Just envision that the earth is breathing you. That breath, that life force that's in the breath is literally breathing you alive. And wherever your feet are, if they're on the floor or not, it's okay if they're not, but I'm just going to visualize that in the bottom of your feet are energy centers, kind of like the lens of a camera or like a flower, and that they're going to open. We're going to just invite them to open, even if you don't have that visualization, to really take in that energy from the earth. And that you are welcoming the earth and the energy that is just perfect for your body, that is just in alignment for your body from the earth, because the earth has many energies. And you might see that, visualize that in a color or feel a sensation, or it might just feel in your imagining for the moment. And every time you breathe in, you're going to breathe that energy up from the earth through the bottoms of your feet into your body. So every in breath, that earth energy is coming up. And it's coming to nourish all those places that aren't feeling nourished in your body. It's really moving, and we're inviting them, that earth energy, every in breath, up through your feet, to your knees, filling your thighs, filling your whole pelvic bowl, filling your yoni, moving up your vaginal canal, supporting and moving all through the uterus wherever it needs to be, around or in it, your womb space. Also into your ovaries, fallopian tubes that move from your uterus to your ovaries, moving and supporting that whole system as women. And just notice, is it easy to accept that support? Is there any resistance to accepting the support of the earth? And just noticing if that's a yes or no. No judgment. There's no, I should be receiving this or I shouldn't be, open to it. It's just what is in the moment, just the information you're getting. And we're going to create another energetic support with the earth, a beam of light from the base of your hips all the way down to the center of the planet. And it's going to anchor in there. Your name might be there because you have this perfect place of belonging. The center of the planet is you belong to the earth. just as the earth belongs to you in a way. There's a reciprocal relationship of belonging and living and breathing together, eating together, literally of each other's bodies. So letting this beam of light drop into the center of the planet. Just notice if there's more stability when you do that. And really do use the power of your visualization to anchor it into the center of the planet. And it's effortless, there's no effort. There's just a knowing I'm being supported and I'm connecting in this way right now. And just noticing if that beam of light, if it reaches to the center of the planet or not for you. Again, that's just information. No, I have to. No, I need to. Just information. And can I open and welcome that connection? And we are going to invite ourselves, our spirits, literally into the matter of our whole bodies in the moment, feeling this grounded place to relate to the earth, feeling that earth energy has come into our bodies and inviting that whole spirit. Sometimes we leave pieces, other places, or other times. And whatever of your whole spirit can come into this moment, into your body, just visualize or feel sensationally, or just with the power of your knowing that your own spirit is filling your whole body and even all around your body. It's pouring into you. It might pour from the top of your head, it might be just a feeling that it's arising or that you're becoming aware of it in the moment. It was already there all along. And that your body is enlivened by your spirit, literally brought to life. And we'll just rest in that for the moment, for a few moments. And you can play around with any of these elements that we've touched on, bringing in earth energy with the inhale, grounding into the center of the planet with that lovely connection, line of connection, beam of light. Feeling your whole spirit, filling your whole body, and the space around you, the air around you is crackling with that spirit that is you. In kind of an egg shape, you could visualize it as an egg shape all around you. That there's even a boundary to that egg shape, but transparent, translucent, porous, but still a boundary that things can move into and out of easily. But right now, it's just your space for you. And anchoring that in, this is my space for me, my spirit enlivening my body, enlivening matter, just as the earth is enlivening me. Bringing me a place of belonging. It always has been. Welcoming you fully. Just welcome those elements fully. in yourself fully. We'll sit for a few minutes in silence in that. And just saying hello again to that spirit filling you, enlivening you. Even if you don't feel it quite yet, there's a process to awakening to it in a sense. Just knowing it's there, being in relationship, conscious relationship. Noticing again and saying hello to the earth and that connection to the earth. And that the earth is dreaming us in a sense, as we're dreaming of the earth, but our field is supporting us. Literally, our body is made of that. And just offering any gratitude that you might have that arises naturally to your body, your spirit, or the earth. And feeling into your heart center with that gratitude as well. This heart center, the place where heaven and earth really meets in our bodies and energy bodies. And coming back into relation with our physical bodies, the more tangible way you might put your hand on your heart, noticing your heartbeat, always supporting you, your heartbeat without any conscious knowing or intention. And your heart as a field is always supporting you as well. And just see if you notice any warmth there or any sensation or energy. And listening to that space, you might ask, what can I do today to feed my heart, feed my embodiment, my spirit embodied in matter today? What's one thing I might can do? If the answer is silence, it might be more silence. Mm. Giving gratitude for whatever answer, information, sensation you might receive there. Just giving gratitude opens that relationship wider. And since we're in that heart space, just asking yourself, is this opportunity of grace and grounding, the training and sacred sisterhood calling to my heart in this moment or in this time? And then again, just thanking yourself for whatever information. And taking a deep breath in and releasing. Noticing again your feet maybe on the floor or the support underneath you, wherever you're sitting or lying. Noticing your skin and the barriers of your body as it touches your clothes or the air. You might move, let your body move however you feel to. And we'll listen to some sharing, so I'll stop the recording for now. And if anyone got yeses on grace and grounding, please reach out to me or sign up. And thank you so much for being and listening and being a woman on the planet today. You signed up to be in a time of great birth and turbulence, and I just honor you for every moment of your embodied existence for that. Thank you for being here.